So, after we've gone through the other things, the one most important thing that teachers want to know about is the data that can be generated on the GoFormative platform. So, here, in order to access the data, because you've already given this grade assessment or this work, and you want to see the students' results, we're going to go ahead to the top from our edit menu right here to where it says responses. Now, under responses, as you'll see now, I've gotten my student names hidden so I can keep everybody's anonymity. So if I were in the middle of a class session and my students were responding, what I used to do, I would toggle this view on and the students would look at it in real time and see if they were getting, how they were trending, getting things right or wrong. Depending on what I was doing, sometimes I would toggle the names in, sometimes I would toggle the names out, depending on what the situation was. But from this menu, you can see I have data. It shows me the group of students that's working. And in this case, it would be my guest students because my teachers can't log into my classes as students. If you link this or synchronize this with your Google Classroom, this will give you groups of students by classroom. So you don't have to look at everyone at the same time. You can click up and look at your guest students, or you can click and expand that menu to look at your other students. But right now, this is the only group of students I have working. So yeah, that's what I got. So by guest students, so I can see here in this column for the total assessment, this would be the student's name, and this would be the student's overall score for that particular one, or for that particular exam or formative. So as you can see, data wise, I have everybody listed there, or I can see totals by this group. So it disaggregates not only by the assignment, but it narrows in on the students themselves. I could go a little bit further and examine each item. So, say for question number one, if I click here at the top, it gives me everyone's response to that question. And I can, hone in on one, look at it, see what that student responded, check it, and then if they're working on it right now, I can respond to that student, or I can just go back and look at the responses again. So I can hone in on each item, or I can hone in on a student. So student two, let's see, student here, I can look at their items and see how they responded to everything individually. So again, if a student misses class, I can just go through their work real quick, grade it, yada, 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 and send that in. Sometimes you'll find that there are items that you need to grade yourself. So if I look on number three for this student, I can see their grade, I can see their item, I can grade it right there in real time. So again, the ability to look at everything globally and to hone in on the student and to hone in on the student and a particular item makes this powerful. Again, once I send the feedback will go back to the student. Well, next time the student logs into Formative, and they can make corrections or they can respond to that. So if they're working in real time, I can respond to them. Maybe I'm walking around the classroom with my tablet device. I can look at my formatives. I can respond, or in real time, I can go to that student and tell them what they're doing wrong. Reteach a group of students. Formative gives me that flexibility to work harder and not. I'm sorry, to work smarter. The key is always to work smarter and not so hard, to make it to be very efficient. And with this, with any formative I give, I can go back through and I can find those data points until formative archives. I haven't been in the classroom in a while, but when formative archives everything, then I don't have access to it. But I have one created 15 days ago. I can look at it. I can look at those responses, and I can hone in on what needs more, what needs less. So again, that's the great thing about it. Here, when it says group by standards, if you refer to the previous lesson, if you go through and tag your standards, you can also group these assignments by standards or group your data by standard. That allows you to see where your students are lagging, what you need to reteach, what you can skip. So again, Formative is a powerful tool when it comes to data. Hope this helps. This has been Dave Parker.